Nice.
So we actually got lots of audio clips to play tonight for everybody's entertainment. Would you like to hear one of them?
Yes.
Sure.
Check this one out. This is Mean Gene Okerland. Now, look, we have no problem with the people that interviewed the people that we're playing tonight. Actually, all of these interviews that were done were actually very good. I don't remember which shows they were, but if you go on TV Trax's channel, he's got clips up there as well. But, these are shows that actually did pretty good interviews. But I will say this. The people in this clip that I'm about to play, I guess you would call them pussies, because when you hear the clip, you just can't. They just hear it, and you'll understand why I'm saying that. All right, this is Mean Gene Okerland being interviewed about Ultimate Warrior in the WWE Hall of Fame.
And Gene, at that point in 1989, while Hulk Hogan was on top with the title, a star that was on the rise at that point was the Ultimate Warrior. And you hear a lot of different opinions in the Ultimate Warrior, a lot of different stories. What were your experiences with him, and what were your memories of the Ultimate Warrior?
Well, he did have a look, but that's about as far as it goes. He sure as hell couldn't talk. He couldn't work in the ring. That was very marginal. I think one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life was between the Ultimate Warrior and Papa Shango. And that was just a disaster of monumental proportions. The Warrior, though, I think hung it out long enough that he did establish himself as a valued employee for the company and a marquee name. And, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame.
No, he certainly isn't.
No.
Now, so far, nobody's acting like a pussy, but Mean Gene Okerland is funny because, Kev, doesn't he sound like he's doing a promo as he's doing an interview?
He does. It sounds very, wrestling. It's not being like, guy talking to guy. It's wrestling. It's a wrestling interview.
Yeah. He's got his broadcasting voice on. His broadcasting voice, gentlemen.
Mish, it's like, I have to go to the bathroom. I took my pants down. I dropped my drawers, but it couldn't come out.
What did you just say?
I'm just saying, Mean Gene Okerland had to take a shit. I have to go to the bathroom. I took my pants down. I dropped my drawers, but it couldn't come out.
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Now, that's actually how I used to do my Macho Man impersonation. This is no bullshit. About 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I started getting into Macho Man, I swear this is the truth. One time I had to take a shit, and it would not come out. And I actually had to force it to come out. I'm serious. I had to force it out. And when I forced it out, I said, "Oh, yeah," as it was coming out. And it sounded like Macho Man. I'm serious. This is the truth. I'll try to do it now. It's like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah." That's exactly what happened. It's the truth.
Maybe
that is the God-honest
right
truth. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, we forgive Mean Gene Okerland because in the rest of this clip he says that Honky Tonk Man's in the Hall of Fame, which is not true. But here's where I think people become pussies. Instead of just saying, yes, I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, Mean Gene, you don't remember the pops that this guy got when they came out? Yes, he wasn't a great worker, but what about the fans? They used to go nuts for this guy. But no! This is what you hear.
Let me ask you a question. If you had voting rights, would you vote the Ultimate Warrior into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Well, Gene, you know what? I understand what people say about his in-ring work, and maybe he was a little bit crazy, but I think he was a big part of the company. Like for me, when I was growing up, he was a big character right next to Hogan, and the match he had at WrestleMania 6, it was really a big thing for me when I was a kid watching wrestling. So I think, maybe, take away all the sort of the politics with regards to him. I could see him in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Well,
Do you
I
agree?
guess everybody's entitled to their own opinion, Kenny, and I don't know if I can totally agree with that. I like Jim Helvig, personally, and he's turned out to be a pretty good guy. But you know, he was nuts there for about 10 years, and I had to work with him. You didn't.
What do you think about, and I'm not saying this is my opinion, but some of the things you hear where there's some fans that say, you know, the Ultimate Warrior's maybe not in the Hall of Fame, but people like maybe Coco Beware, who wasn't as big a star, was in there. Do you think that's a valid point, or do you think that it should be based on individual sort of merit?
Well, you're not going to make everybody happy, but Coco Beware is in the Hall of Fame. The Honky Tonk Man is in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's not.
They all came from that same era as the Ultimate Warrior.
Honky Tonk Man's on the Hall of Fame.
The Ultimate Warrior, and this is only hearsay. But
all right, now wait till you hear this, Kev. This is the first time I've heard this story.
This is already, you know, Gene Okerland's got to do his homework.
All right, well, he's really got to do his homework on this one. Listen to this.
To give you my opinion, I think he screwed with the office one too many times. And when I say the office, Vince McMahon, obviously. And, you know, a day before a big pay-per-view show, he'd say, I want, instead of the regular payoff that you were going to give me, I want $500,000, and I want it before I go to the ring in cash.
It was actually $200,000.
Well, what kind of request is that? Hold them up? You know what Vince did? Hey, pack your bags and get the hell out of here. I've got a replacement for you. The guy's name is Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. And he was sensational.
That's not what happened.
I know. He's in the Hogan era, you know, and I love Mean Gene, so I actually will forgive him on this. But Kev, you're the Mr. Encyclopedia Britannica. Could you clarify what Mean Gene said, you know, on the fly?
First of all, that was the night of SummerSlam '91, and Kurt Hennig had nothing to do with it. Actually, the person who got pushed in Warrior's place was Sid, who was getting pushed already anyway. That was the match versus Sheik and Slaughter and whoever that other guy was, Adnan Al-Casey, whoever that was. But that was the night of him teaming up with Hogan. What was it, the Ultimate what were they called? The Ultimate Maniacs?
I think the Ultimate Maniacs. I'm not sure.
And he wanted and it was $200,000. Vince claims he paid him. I don't know about that, and he was fired after he went out. I don't know what the Kurt Hennig replacement story is. I have no idea what that is. I don't know what he's talking about. There was no Kurt Hennig replacing Warrior on anything. Actually, Sid got pushed in his place, and Warrior came back anyway 6 months later.
Yeah. True, very true.
At that WrestleMania where Sid was against Hogan, and he interfered and got the biggest reaction of the night, by the way, and was one of the worst WrestleManias in Indiana, if you remember.
Yeah, that is true.
Yep. So I don't know, Gene. You're a fucking moron.
Well, do you think he's doing that to protect Hogan, like he knows better, or do you think he's just talking out of his
he's
ass?
a Hogan mark, big time. I mean, you know, I don't know why these guys still think Hogan has any pull in anything at all, other than TNA. He doesn't have any. You can say whatever you want about Hogan. It's not going to affect your career anymore. It's like a baseball player ripping Roger Clemens. What's he going to do? He's not going to do anything.
Yeah, today was a very good day in baseball.